Famed rock and roll legend Mick Jagger once said, "It's all right letting yourself go as long as you can get yourself back." Well, what if you can't get yourself back? What if you find yourself in an unfortunate situation where your chance of survival is beyond slim? That's exactly what happened to tonight's victim, a teenager whose love of live music brings him face to face with the angels of death.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talk Murder to Me. We are on the YouTubes. This story right here is a little more visual. You can follow along with us at talkmurder.com, and it'll be right there on the front page. But it'd be best if you guys were on YouTube, because this is a story with a lot of video in it. A lot of cool video.
Cool.
So we are on YouTube right now. And so just type in Talk Murder to Me, and you can see this video. Be sure to subscribe to us, and I don't know, I don't have any other news, so let's just get started, shall we?
Yeah, happy recording day, guys. Sunday.
Yeah. Well, should we just go ahead and kick it off with our surprise shot?
Why not? Surprise shots, surprise shots. We don't know what they are because they're a surprise.
Cheers, friends.
I'm afraid of clear liquor. I know you don't like
I know, we're the opposite when it comes to this, but cheers.
Cheers.
What is it?
No guess?
No. My liver has stopped caring. It's like, fuck it, dude. You don't care, I don't care. Don't get mad when I shut down.
I'm pretty sure, like, mine will be the first one to shut down. Don't worry, John. You'll be, like, 85 and still have a good liver, and I'll be 60 and not. Actually, I'll probably need a liver transplant by the time I'm 35, but that's fine.
by the time we get there,
Modern science will be so far in advance.
yeah, because you can grow organs on the back of a mouse. So
What?
yeah.
I don't think I want to put that in my body.
Nope.
Well, if you get bobbited or something. Bobbited.
Yeah, we know what you're talking
I know what
about.
it is.
Or something. They can grow an organ. If you need a heart, a liver.
On back of a mouse.
Like,
Yeah, you
do they
never
shave
seen
it?
No, so they put there's like stem cell research and stuff.
Right.
A lot of people that get heart transplants and liver transplants, their body can't accept it, and the body doesn't accept it.
Right.
So you want to grow your own from your own DNA, and that's the key. So they basically put this DNA and mix it with this mouse DNA or whatever they do, and an organ grows on the back of a rat.
Interesting.
Let me pull it up on my iPad.
I mean, it sounds like 80% fake, but that's okay.
Anyway, we just took a shot of vodka. Anyway,
So
back to the topic at hand.
Sorry, I'm looking for growing organs on rats.
I think we can skip that part.
Here it is. See, that's an ear.
Ew, gross.
That's a human ear.
Oh my God, that's nasty. Why are his eyes red?
Because he's a rat. He's an albino rat.
This is.
And they shaved him. Ew, but like then my ear would be made out of rat skin. That's gross.
No, it's human skin.
There's so many things that I just
I
want
don't
to
like that.
question right now.
I'd rather go Van Gogh than have a rat ear. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like, call me old fashioned,
I mean,
but
maybe.
I don't.
I don't know. Depends. I guess it's all dependent. I'm not in that situation. That is crazy. I did not believe you. So
I'm sorry
thanks.
for not believing you.
And the Europeans say Van Gogh, not Van Gogh.
Do they?
Remember that documentary we watched? She was like, Van Gogh, Van Gogh. And I
Yeah.
started saying it, and you were like, Van Gogh. I'm like, fuck, I sound like an idiot.
I mean, it's probably not how you pronounce it, but whatever. It's easier.
All right, so let's get started. Tonight, you're probably looking at the screen. We are talking about the Rolling Stones murder. What do you guys know about Rolling Stones?
I know that I went to see them when I was 15 in concert.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Did you go to Fenway?
No, Gillette.
1969? Or
I wish.
you
They
know?
were really good. They were old, but they were really good. My mom actually.
They were old back then?
Yes.
Yeah, when I was 15.
Oh,
That
okay.
was only 15 years ago. 14 years ago.
It's the dreaded year.
My mom worked with the Rolling Stones. She flew a charter with them, and she got to meet Mick Jagger.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mick Jagger is the lead singer. We're going to be seeing a lot of him tonight, and probably 90% of people watching this are like, who?
Oh my gosh, please don't say that. The Rolling Stones
Okay, well, just
are
think of
still
the song
relevant.
Moves
No.
like Jagger. They're still making music. They're still touring.
Okay,
Also,
yeah, they are still, half the band is still around. Well, I think 2 of the members are dead, but most of the members are still together.
I mean, the ones, the names are still
Keith Richards.
touring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Did you know what brown sugar is actually about?
Um,
I'll leave that to you guys to imagination, but it's not about the baking need.
it's about black girls.
no.
Well, yeah, but
Everyone knows that. What do you mean?
yeah, but it's not just about.
What the fuck? It's not about baking. Of course. Who the fuck thinks it's about baking? What?
Like sugar as in like kissing? Like sugar? Give me some sugar?
No, it's not. Well, I guess so, but not.
Holy fuck.
But not on the mouth.
Guys,
Okay, are you saying it's about cunnilingus?
Fellatio.
Okay.
Or what's? I get those two confused all the time.
cunnilingus. This
Cunnilingus.
is my favorite word.
It is about cunnilingus.
Oh my gosh. That's
Did you
great.
know that one of the lyrics?
Of the booty hole?
Did you know that some of the lyrics are "You can make a dead man come"?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mick Jagger is freaking awesome. I got a lot more respect for him
After researching this?
after researching this. All right, guys, for you on YouTube, we are on Google Earth right now. For our podcast listeners, we are going to Altamont Speedway. Have you heard of this? 1969.
No.
December 6th. This event right here was supposed to, well, after this happened, usher in the age of Aquarius. That's what everyone keeps
We're in the age of
Oh.
Aquarius right now.
Well, that's what everyone keeps calling this. I don't think it was an astrological thing. I think it was this one event ushered in the end of the fun times in the 60s, and now it's like the 70s kind
when
of
the
thing.
moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars.
All right, so if you're looking at Google Earth, we are going to California, the
All right.
Altamont Raceway. Can you describe this for the audience, please?
Looks like a dirt racetrack.
Yeah, it's a dirt racetrack.
In the middle of bumblefuck America.
It actually just closed down about 11 years ago. So this is what it looks like. It's in the middle of cow pastures.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would not have guessed that this was a racing area.
It's at the southeast end of Livermore Valley and on the south side of an 8-lane freeway, Interstate 580, 50 miles east of Oakland.
Okay.
And this actually, in 1969, December 6th, right here, there were 300,000 people coming to see, from all the way from New York and everything, getting on planes, coming to see Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Believe it.
Mm-hmm.
this is what this place looked like on that day.
Oh my goodness. Look at all those people.
Yeah, so this is how
Not
many
an inch between them.
Jeez.
this is how many people were at the event in 1969 on December 6th.
Holy shit. It's like Woodstock.
Oh no, you haven't seen anything yet. Check out this
That was
video.
the same year as Woodstock as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out this video.
Holy tits.
All there to see Mick Jagger. Yeah, try to do that, Skrillex. Or is that his name?
Yeah, but is he still like making
Oh,
music?
I don't know.
No idea.
That's Mick Jagger right there
It
who you're
is.
looking at. He's in the helicopter. Look at that shit. Look how
Wow.
many people are there. Oh my God.
Wow.
So the concert, just to give you a little background on the concert, it was a free concert.
Oh, well, yeah. No wonder there's so many people there.
Yeah.
If it's free, it's for me.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so it's a free concert that they were putting on, and it wasn't supposed to be at the Altamont Raceway to begin with. It's way
Okay.
too small.
Mm.
They actually had to take down all the scaffolding and all the seats from the raceway and everything else just to fit the people in there, and obviously they didn't fit.
Wow.
The venue they were supposed to go to canceled, and it was something like that. So they had to, at the last minute, get a contract to go here.
Wow.
Yeah, and it barely worked, but At the last minute, they changed it, and that's what they did.
Can you imagine the sound equipment that they must have had to have people even hear the music from? You know what I mean?
So the scaffoldings for the speakers were, and you can see in some of the videos I'll show you, but people were climbing all up there. It's just so dangerous because those things are, meant to hold speakers, not humans,
right,
like going back and forth,
Jeez.
But this is who we're talking about tonight. This is Meredith Hunter. For you podcast listeners, you can see him at talkmurder.com. For you YouTube guys, it's right here on the screen. Can you describe this man for us, Nicole?
Tall, slender, young man. Looks like he's got a little bit of an afro. Mustache, African-American gentleman, sharply dressed.
Yes, I'm loving the hat.
Very snappy, all like khaki with almost like a trench coat jacket.
It's like has a tint of green to
Yeah.
It actually is lime green. You'll see a better picture. This picture right here doesn't do it any justice. I don't know. The
Bell
coloring's
bottoms.
off.
He is in the times.
The coloring's off on this picture. But you'll see a video of this guy, and you'll see the lime green. It's fluorescent green.
He stands out in a crowd with with the lime green.
Oh, yeah, definitely, 100%. So this is Meredith Hunter, 18 years old. He was first attending the Monterey Jazz Festival. Then he hears about this free concert. Now, he's not a huge Rolling Stones fan, but his girlfriend is. And this is 1969. This is a day of, or the years of oppression with
civil
black
rights
and
movement.
civil rights, black and white. His girlfriend was a white woman, and the reason I'm saying that is because back then it was
controversial.
It was a huge deal back then, and a lot of people think that it may have some sway on the case. But he is 6'2". He tells his girlfriend, and you'll see a video of her later. Her name is Patty Bredehoft, Bredehoft, Bredehoft. I'm probably mispronouncing that. She came with him in his 65 Mustang that is champagne beige. It's a beautiful car. I got a picture of it here. They called him Murdoch, so Meredith Murdoch Hunter.
Okay.
Now, he had a Native American father and was raised by an African American mother named Altha Mae Anderson, which was actually really sad and tragic. I was looking up. His mother was suffering from schizophrenia at the time of this. His mother's husband actually died a month before this in an electrical accident. And he is going to be a victim too. So he is the only victim tonight that we're talking about here. Okay. And this is the event that kind of ushered in the new age, kind of ended the fun time flower, it kind of brought a darker age. And this is the story that did that.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now, was his mother's husband, was he the Native American man, or was his birth father Native American?
His birth father was.
Oh, okay. Not that it matters. I was just curious.
Well, there's not a ton of information on him and his family that I could find, at least. So I don't know. So moving on. All right. So I'm pulling this story tonight from two main sources, and I want to give both proper credit now because I'm going to be using them both extensively. Number one, a documentary produced in 1970 about this free concert because it was so eventful. And there was I have it in my notes later, but I believe California made 4 different propositions based on this one event.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. All kinds of stuff. That's how important this was. So the documentary was produced in
some of it because of the murder.
No, all of it because of the murder. Yeah, all of it.
Okay. So there's a lot of things that happened. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And you'll see why this wasn't a good idea to have this concert here. And that's what I want to show you. That documentary is called Gimme Shelter, which...
Oh, I heard about that documentary.
And the other article that I'm using, or the other source, is from rollingstone.com, or Rolling Stone newspaper. And this is, the title is Remembering Meredith Hunter, the fan killed at Altamont. I'm going to be using that quite often. Nicole's going to be reading a lot from that.
Okay.
One specific article, they did a long read, very detailed And I mean, who else are you going to pull the story of the source from? You know, Rolling Stones, this is the only place you need to go for a story like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the only one I used. They did a very, very thorough read. So we're going to be using that. And that came out July 9th, 2018. So Nicole, can you start us off by reading from this article?
Meredith was 6'2", with his father's naturally straight hair. He would use Tide detergent and vinegar to reverse engineer his hair into a natural do, fluffing it out to a small afro. He wore big-brimmed hats and colorful jackets, sometimes with matching nail polish on his fingers, and there was a certain swagger to his walk, as if he were more comfortable in his skin than all the other teenage boys and girls still adjusting to their adult bodies.
Good for him. He had his own personal style, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Rolling Stones, the band itself, because a lot of listeners probably don't even really know anything about it.
They've got to know who the Rolling Stones are.
I mean, they've heard of them, but I doubt it. I mean, you know.
I do love the Rolling Stones.
And then some of our older listeners are like, oh, this story's going to take me back.
Start me up. You need to start me up and never stop.
I want to ask you guys, why do you think this show was so rowdy? This was, I mean, you think of a 69 show, the Rolling Stones. It's rock and roll, yeah. It's not...
It's also in the middle
of
of
freaking pretentious Beatles.
Also,
or anything.
it's
Excuse me, we're not going to get into this right now. We are not.
Love is everywhere.
That's not a Beatles song.
Love is everywhere. Give me some of that acid. Love is everywhere.
You don't sniff acid.
Or whatever. Fucking damn it, you ruined it.
You ruined it.
So
by starting this argument again.
Well, it was outdoors and it was a free concert
In California, and you know there was definitely some reefer out there.
A lot of reefer.
Well, I'm sure there was more
Reefer
things than just
madness.
that, but you know.
Just look at the flyer and tell me if you can see the one thing that caused the most problems here. If you want to read this flyer for our podcast audience.
Rolling Stones presents a free concert December 6th, 1969. Altamont Raceway, Livermore, California. Special guests: Grateful Dead, Santana, Jefferson Airplane, Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
If you go
Crosby, Stills,
chasing
Nash
rabbits.
and Young, Flying Burrito Brothers.
And at the very bottom?
Security by Hell's Angels. So no regulation.
They hired... Well, they didn't hire. They basically...
Isn't that what they did at Woodstock, too?
It's a free concert, so they don't want to pay for security. So they got the Hells Angels, which are also known for supplying all the drugs, to come and park their bikes to make like a railway...
Like a barricade?
A barricade in front of the Rolling Stones and the crowd, which you're going to see the Rolling Stones on stage. It wasn't really a stage. It may have been 2 or 3 feet
So they were like on a
above
platform.
the ground. Yeah, platform, a small platform.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That must have been really hard to see them then.
You know, I've seen Jefferson, well, there weren't Jefferson Airplane anymore because Grace Slick wasn't there and the couple of members weren't there, but the band formerly known as Jefferson Airplane, now known as Jefferson Starship, I saw them live when I went to a Woodstock 50-year
Oh, cool.
How many
University.
band members do you need to have the band? Like, all right, let's say the Leonard Skinner, obviously they died in a plane crash, but what if their manager was like, hey, I was technically part of the band? Leonard Skinner
I feel like it's
tour.
got to be somebody that sings or plays a musical instrument in the thing.
Like Panic at the Disco, Brendan Urie is the only original member left of the band. So, but he's still
Probably because they suck.
No, I really like Panic at the Disco. I think they're great.
I saw them live,
So
and
have
I
I.
think they suck.
I saw them live. I was in the front row. They were awesome. Anyway,
I saw them live, but it was only because they were performing before Weezer.
yeah.
Love Weezer.
That's the concert you saw them at too, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, so you think they suck, but you would see them twice. That makes sense, right? Gotcha. They were great. Anyway, but yeah, he's the only original band member.
Which I guess he's also the front man. You know? So it's like also a little bit more okay.
Yeah.
Keep the same.
Can you read this for us, Niquiz?
The couple had been among the fans terrorized by the Hells Angels' presence. They had scurried out of the way when the Angels had roared up to the stage, their Harley Davidsons with hardly a pause. If they hadn't made room for the motorcycles, they likely would have been run over. They watched helplessly as the bikers used their pool cues as truncheons, beating fans who had violated the unspoken rules of proximity to the Hells Angels. Bredhoft was particularly troubled by the band's announcements that came from the stage, asking the audience to calm down and be cool. It wasn't the audience causing the trouble in the first place, she thought.
They actually threw a bottle and hit the lead singer of Jefferson Airplane in the face.
Grace Slick?
Yeah, the female.
Grace Slick.
Yeah. And I was like, what the shit? This whole concert is supposed to be about uniting and love and stuff. And you bring the Hells Angels, a bunch of thugs that are dealing meth and all kinds of drugs and drain. You're about to see some stuff. All right, check this out. This is one of the videos from the documentary.
Oh my gosh.
That's the Hells Angels beating them with pool
Oh
cues.
boy.
They're still
Oh
drumming.
my God. They're like in the crowd.
Hey man, I'd like to mention that the Hells Angels just smashed Marty Ballin in the face and knocked him out for a bit. I'd like to thank you for that.
There's other ways.
Wait, is this on? You're
Cameron?
talking to me, I'm gonna talk to
I'm
you.
not talking to you, man. I'm talking to the people that hit my lead singer
You're
in the
talking
head.
to my people.
There's the Hells
right?
Angels
Let me
talking.
tell you what's happening. You,
Man, you're
what's
not
happening. Hey, oh,
This guy,
No!
hold it.
for our
All right.
podcast
No.
audience, this guy is holding a beer, the Hells Angels, and screaming at one of the band members, and they're also beating
You know what's
patrons with
happening?
pool cues. Pool cues.
We're partying like you.
Look at that. So you got a bunch of hippies trying to get along with a bunch of rowdy bikers. It's just not a
Yikes.
good. And this is in the middle of the day. The Stones ain't even got up there yet. So what do you think is going to be like when the Stones get up there?
Everybody's going to be drunk, dehydrated.
Drunk. I mean, the Hells Angels were drunk before they even got there. So they're going to be not only
God.
drunk, but on all kinds of, whatever. Man, I mean, I
Thugs.
don't know, man. They're thugs, dude. Like, if you're a biker, I'm sorry, man, but
Well, it's either you
Like,
can be a
dude.
biker and not be.
Yeah, you can bike and
Yeah.
and be respectful.
yeah, and not be a fucking asshole. Like,
Aren't
holy
the Hells
shit.
Angels the group that like have that like protect the children too?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh my god,
Or
yeah.
like have use that as like a front or
It's a
something.
front.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, we're so good. You protect the children.
Maybe that's where I was getting. Like, I didn't realize that they had the reputation. I definitely saw a video about something like that.
And they want that reputation. So, I mean, they want people like me talking bad about them. That's what keeps them, their
Oh.
reputation, I guess.
They're
I
not
don't know.
Charlie's Angels. They're Hell's Angels. Let's just keep
I mean,
that in mind.
their name is
Good
Hell's
point.
Angels. Like, what
Good
do you,
point.
I mean, it is what it is, man.
Maybe they're trying to change the reputation by the whole protect the children thingy.
I don't know. I feel like that's been going on for a while. But
really?
Yeah.
Even now, we did that one story where the Hells Angels are like in charge of all was it like opium or some sort of drug?
Like the
Oh,
trafficking.
fentanyl.
Oh yeah.
They're doing all the
Oh.
fentanyl now. So,
Interesting.
dude, I'm
Okay.
sorry, but like,
No, I didn't
that's
realize.
I'm saying you're a freaking drug
that
front,
stuff is
man.
dangerous. Fentanyl.
Yes.
Like, there's nothing
Kill an
good about
elephant.
these guys, man. I'm sorry. If you're a Hell's Angel, then stop listening. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, this is one of the Hell's Angels. He's still alive. He talks like this because he had, but we're not going to hear that
He's
video.
got a hole in his neck.
This is going to be the interview he did in 1970 about this murder because he was there supposed to be protecting it. And I don't know if you know, that's
Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, the guy from
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy.
Is that about the Hells Angels or it's just
Probably
a biker
loosely
game?
based.
Yeah, it's like I never
I never
watched
watched it.
In the military, like every dude was like, oh, I love this show. And I'm like, dude, you don't even ride a bike. Don't you have to ride a bike?
Don't you have to have a motorcycle to like this show?
Criteria for being a fan of the show: 1,
know?
own a motorcycle. 2,
It's like,
know how to ride said motorcycle. I have never been on a motorcycle, and I don't mind keeping it that way. Like they frighten me.
It's kind of on my bucket list to ride on one, but around
okay.
the cul-de-sac would be fine.
Yeah, with a helmet and like 3 bubble suits.
Yeah.
And
Also, I'd call it okay on a Vespa as well. Like,
yeah, I would do okay on a Vespa.
I would, like,
something I can drive
check
on the
it off the
sidewalk.
list.
You know what I think is cool though? I'm sorry, John. I can see you getting frustrated. with
no,
me.
I just blacked out. Sorry.
The trikes. I wouldn't mind riding a trike.
Like the Batmobile type things?
Those, but also like they have motorcycles that have one wheel in front and two wheels in back. Like
It's like the training wheels, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I would be safer on that and less likely to tip over.
Yes. Also, yes.
And since it's like an inverse relationship, what she means is she'll be safer and the public will be in more danger.
Touche.
This guy's name is Sonny Barger. He's still around.
I think we've got one of the Hells Angels on the line. Sonny Barger. If I got that right, Sonny?
Yeah.
Okay, what's up?
I didn't go there to police nothing, man. I ain't no cop. I ain't never gonna ever pretend.
He just
to be
came
a
for the
cop.
concert.
And this Mick Jagger, like, put it all on the Angels, man. Like, he used us for dupes, man. You know, and as far as I'm concerned,
dupes,
we were the
man.
biggest
For
suckers
dupes.
for that idiot that I can ever see. And you know what? They told me if I could sit on the edge of the stage so nobody would climb over me, you know, I could drink beer until the show was over. And that's what I went there to do. But you know what? When they started messing over our bikes, they started it. I don't know if you think we pay $50 for them things or steal them or pay a lot for them or what. Ain't nobody going to kick my motorcycle. And they might think because they're in a crowd of 300,000 people that they can do it and get away with it. But when you're standing there looking at something that's your life and everything you got is invested in that thing and you love that thing better than you love anything in the world and you see a guy kick it,
I think he
know
likes his
who
bike.
is. You're going to get him. And
I can
you know
kind of
what?
see where
They
this
got
story's
got.
going.
I am not no peace creep by any sense of the word. And you can call them people flower children and this and that. Some of them people was loaded on some drugs that it's just too bad we wasn't loaded on because they come running off of the hill yelling, ah, you know, and jump on somebody and it wasn't even
What the
always
fuck's he
jumping on angels. But when they jumped on an angel, they got hurt.
So, and the victim tonight was actually nowhere near the bikes, but
Oh, okay.
they believe that the rowdiness caused from people tripping over their bikes. And here's the problem. They use their bikes, their
As a
motorcycles,
barricade.
as a barricade.
Which is dumb.
And then wonder why people are trying to climb over them to see Mick Jagger do his freaking,
His-
you know,
his
oh,
moves.
like a hurricane, kind of shit. Well, I mean, think
Those
about
aren't
it.
the words, but that's okay.
I was going to say, what song is that?
Satisfaction, but with John's lyrics.
To make sure we don't get sued for
Yeah. Copyright
infringement.
Yeah, so that's just my opinion. If you want to read this.
Patty was hardly surprised when Meredith came back to the car to join her for a respite that afternoon. This concert was a bust and she was ready to leave, Rolling Stones or no Rolling Stones. She was dumbfounded when Hunter went over to the Mustang, unlocked the trunk, and removed a long-barreled .22 Smith & Wesson revolver with a blue steel barrel. Bedroft watched him put the gun in the pocket of his jacket. "Why are you getting that?" she wondered, shocked. "Just to protect myself. They're getting really bad," he told her, referring to the Hells Angels. "They're pushing people off the stage and beating people up."
So his girlfriend is Patty.
I would have left at that point, too.
Yeah. So he goes back to his Mustang with his girlfriend and he pulls out a revolver. That's what the story is, but we don't know if there's a gun or not, right?
Okay.
Anyway, that's what the Hells Angels are saying. Apparently the gun wasn't loaded. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But
I just wouldn't have been having fun at that point. I would have just been like, can we listen to it in the, in the car, in the car down the street? Like, do you think we can hear it?
no, they don't have they don't have like
know what I
Sirius
mean?
XM and
No,
stuff.
not that.
No,
like,
you,
just,
you could hear it from like the outside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they could, yeah.
I mean, it'd be. I wonder if they'd even be able. Like, how are you going to get your car out, man?
And the
What a
problem- yeah.
nightmare that parking
Well,
situation.
the problem
must have been.
is, like I said, the stage was
so
low.
low.
I mean, you saw the Jefferson Airplane
Yeah.
lady. I mean, she was right there with the crowd. I mean, a few feet up, but nothing,
That's
man.
terrible.
Yeah, so to see, you have to be right up to the band, and that's why a lot of people were up there. And then
They
you have
better
to.
bring their binoculars.
It's just a bad situation, all in all. You have a rock and roll band. Everyone wants to see Mick Jagger. It's the end of 1969. You know,
The very end.
we literally just
December,
walked on
yeah.
the moon, and all this stuff. We accomplished all this stuff. Let's cap off the new year. You know, what I'm
Go
saying?
into the new decade.
And then the Hells Angels are drunk. It's just a bad situation, man. Anyway, here's the Hells Angels pulling up. Look at him drinking. He's
Oh my
drinking
god,
like
he's
a
drinking like literally a
jug
handle.
of whatever someone just handed him. It could be moonshine. It could be gas. I mean, who knows? But he's drinking it, and this is in the middle of the day, so they got a long way to go. I mean,
Oh my god.
I'm surprised like everyone didn't die at this event.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know? Can you read this?
Brett Huff wanted to leave. Alamont was no fun at all, and she was getting scared. Hunter wanted to stay and encouraged her to return to where they had been standing. Come on, he gently told Baird Huff. Come with me. The Rolling Stones are finally getting ready to go on. The teenage lovers walked away from the Mustang and back toward the stage. It was now time for the headline act.
Okay, so now the Hells Angels have been drunk all day. I'll put the documentary on talkmurder.com. You should definitely watch it, especially if you're a fan. There's a lot of people on drugs. It's funny. A lot of people are walking around butt naked. They don't even know where they are. They're like, whoa, colors. And everyone's just like, yeah, radical, brah, or whatever.
The 60s.
It's just crazy. It's a good to watch, you know. Anyway, this is finally the Rolling Stones. They finally get up, and Mick Jagger does the best he can to calm down the crowd, as you're about to see now.
What's going on? I just know that every time we get to a number, something happens. I don't know what's going on, who's doing what. It's just a scuffle. All I can ask you, San Francisco, is like the whole thing. Like, this could be the most beautiful evening we've had for this winter. You know, and we've really...
Do you see?
Yeah,
there he is.
Yeah, that's Meredith right now.
Come on, let's
So for you
get it
podcast
together.
listeners...
I can't do any more than just ask you, to beg you, just to keep it together. You can do it. It's within your power. Everyone.
Pow.
Everyone. Hells Angels. Everybody. Let's just keep ourselves together.
So he actually got everyone to sit down. You know, everyone was sitting down for a little bit. It's kind of if you tell your dog to sit and then he gets right back up type of shit.
I will listen to Mick Jagger, whatever you
Yeah.
say.
But dude, I mean, he is such a boss on stage. Like
He is
reminds
an
me of
entertainer.
Yeah.
Through
That's
and
for
through.
sure.
He reminds me of the guy from Queen. You know
Yeah,
how Queen
yeah.
was just
Record,
like,
yeah.
yeah. But if you want to read this is from the Rolling Stone.
As the drums entered once more and Jagger repeatedly intoned the line, I pray that it's all right, another space ominously began to clear the audience below. The huge mass of people near the stage was now disintegrating, crumbling under the weight of the fear sweeping its ranks. The Hells Angels swooped into the crowd, a leather-clad phalanx wading into the morass, and the fans in their vicinity rapidly backpedaled, seeking daylight from whoever or whatever had sparked the Angels' ire.
So this is them about this time, this video here, getting pissed. And for you podcast listeners, we're just showing the concert and the aggression that the Hells Angels are levying on the crowd. And you can see Meredith Hunter, the victim tonight, in his lime green suit.
He
and
stands
it's
out
very,
right away
exactly,
because of that suit.
because it's a fluorescent green. The photo that I'm putting on talkmurder.com of him, the first one you're going to see, that coloring.
It looked khaki in the first
exactly.
picture that you
But
showed
he is
us.
wearing a lime green suit,
Yep.
complete suit, and in the dark with minimal light, he stands out. So you can really see this, and it's important because you can see him get
You can see
murdered.
the victim, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to see him get murdered
God.
here in a
Oh.
second because it got on video because they were videoing the concert, and he gets
Wow.
murdered right there at the
God.
concert. So.
Oh boy.
So this is the aggression of the Angels. Everyone's getting more drunk. Mick Jagger's not getting anyone to sit down like he wants to. So it's getting worse. Here is a picture of Meredith Hunter right here. You can definitely see him in a crowd. He's actually looking at...
He's also super tall
Yeah,
he's
compared to
6'2",
everyone
yeah.
else. Like, he really
Yeah.
just stands out with that lime green suit.
He looks afraid in that picture.
Well,
Yeah.
honestly, I
I'd
think...
be afraid.
Yeah.
I think he was just... Because he could have left, and he was
Yeah.
at the jazz festival. I think he just really loved the music. and he just wanted to be as close as possible to the band. That's what it seems like in the documentary.
Angel jerked roughly on Hunter's ear and hair, chuckling all the while at his daring as he yanked from a speaker box and onto the ground alongside him. Hunter shook off the angel and held him by the arm and hand. Hunter pulled back, and the angel punched him in the mouth. Benghoff glanced in his direction, having missed the opening beats of the skirmish. The angels faltered to the ground, and he leapt up, intent on defending himself against their assault.
Anyway, he's pretty close, but he wants to get closer, so he decides to climb on the speaker, the PA speaker from the band, and other people are doing that too, and the Hells Angels just throw him off. So that's what happened apparently in this situation. Now, the documentary crew, they didn't film that portion because the camera was kind of skewed to the right when he was all the way to the left sitting on the speaker. So you can't actually see him sitting on the speaker, but you do see the scrimmage that happens when they pull him off. And that's what we're about to see right now. So you guys understand why they pulled him off, right?
Because he was climbing on the speaker.
Exactly.
How did he get that close? Like when the band was about to go on and they were already at the car. Like how do you get that? Make your way through that huge crowd.
Yeah, I guess you make your way through it.
Throw some elbows.
Oh no.
Yeah, you got to throw them bows. Bowflex. You got to buy a Bowflex for $1,000 and then you can throw them bows. Here we go. For you podcast listeners, we're watching the video of the scrimmage right now.
There he is.
There he is, Meredith Hunter. And do you see the Hells Angel?
Yep.
Well, I'll show you a little closer, but did you see him wielding a weapon?
No.
The Hells Angel's actually the guy, and I'm going to show you who he is in a minute. Wielded a knife.
We're splitting, man, if those cats don't stop beating everybody up inside. I want them out of the way, man.
One of the Hells Angels came up and said that guy's got a gun out there and he wanted to shoot at the stage or shot at the stage or something. So we need to figure out if he had a gun at all, because if he didn't have a gun, that's just a hate crime, because there were other people on the speakers that got pulled off, but he was the only one that was killed. Now, let's see if you can see the knife first.
And we're saying the Hells Angel gentleman had the knife.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
There was multiple Hells Angels involved, about, 6 or 7 or 8 probably, that kind of destroyed this guy. I mean, this is what they did. They would, like, and you're about to read, they would curb stomp, like, right on his face with their boots or whatever the term is. Like, it was bad news.
When Bredhoff glanced in his direction, having missed the opening beats of the skirmish, she thought she saw Hunter turning around and being approached by the first angel, then 2 or 3 more. The angels knocked Hunter to the ground, and he leapt up, intent on defending himself against their assaults. Hunter attempted to flee to the crowd. The angel then leapt off the stage and chased after Hunter, joined by 4 of his fellow bikers. They stepped on bystanders' fingers and feet in their haste to pursue him. 5 bikers surrounded one teenager, assaulting him without justification or fear of interruption. As on so many other occasions that day, Meredith Hunter pushed through the crowd away from him in his desperate flight from the angels, looking fiercely at his tormentors in a doomed attempt to scare them off.
The article was saying that he pulled out a gun to scare the angels off, and we'll see that from the video, but that's what it's saying. And he was big, and the reason he pulled out the gun is because it was not just 1 or 2. It was, you saw the video, it was like 4 or 5. And here's the video again. Let's see if we can see the knife that the angel pulls out.
Is it going to be in slow-mo or no? We just have to look.
Not in slow-mo, but I have a still image. Do you see the knife?
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah.
Whoa, that's a big knife.
Yeah, it's a huge knife. That knife actually penetrates his back, Meredith Hunter's back, 4 or 5 times. And that doesn't cause his death. Actually, the death is caused by the stomping on the face.
Oh my God.
By 6 or 7 of these angels. But here's a better image of the knife right here.
Wow.
Do you see it?
Holy crap.
Can you kind of describe for our podcast listeners?
So
it's like a dagger.
Yeah, it is a really large knife. Not like a machete or anything like that, but that's a big blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the Hells Angel there, his name is Pissarro. I'm going to talk about him in a minute, but look how he's kind of jumping up because
And it looks like
Meredith
is like ready to try to punch him back, and it looks like his girlfriend is trying to hold back his arm.
That's exactly what's happening. It's from the Rolling Stones article. Yeah. So his girlfriend is trying to stop this, and the Hell's Angel is kind of coming up over top of him with a knife. And at this point, you know, it's not a fair fight because you have 6 of these bikers on one guy. And I mean, that's just awful.
Reaching into the pocket of his suit jacket, he pulled out his pistol and held it up in the air. Both his arms were spread, with his left hand clutching the gun outstretched in the direction of the stage. Bredhoff shouted at Hunter not to shoot. She grabbed at Hunter, then turned, spun around by the momentum of the fracas. Hunter was still running away, even as he began to lower his gun. A short, stocky angel named Alan Pissarro, wearing a sleeveless light brown vest with a Frisco patch on his left breast, jumped on him from behind, grabbing his arm. The biker almost rode on his back as he raised his arm over his head and brought his knife down in a long, curving arc, stabbing Hunter twice. Bredhoff was now alone in the empty circle cleared out by the fearful audience as Hunter was carried away from her.
So when you saw the video of Mick Jagger saying, "What, you guys are all fighting," and all this stuff, that during that time of him saying that to the audience is when this guy is getting murdered.
Wow.
So if you...
But do we know for sure that he actually had a pistol?
That's a good question.
Because you brought this up, and this article is saying that he pulled one out and held it up in the air.
Okay, so let's look at that right now. I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
Okay.
And just real quick, Alan Pissarro, and I'll talk about him. He was only in the Hells Angels for a month. He just got out of prison for some drug charges, and he went like right back in there, and he died like a couple years later off some, I don't know, whatever, gang fight or whatever. Who cares, you know? But anyway, that was him. So let me fast forward a little bit, and let's see if we can find the gun.
Where's the gun?
He says, "Where's the gun?"
Against the girl's crocheted dress.
Right, it's there, isn't it?
You see it?
Oh, yeah.
I'll put this on talkmurder.com. You can see the gun silhouette is definitely a gun. Is definitely, I mean, it's not his long finger. In fact, the police did find the gun. And from what they say, the gun was unloaded. So just like his girlfriend said, there was no bullets in the gun at all. He just used it as a scare tactic. So he did wield a gun.
Meredith Hunter was in front of them and under their feet, and something had enraged them. Something had sent the Hells Angels into a frenzied motion that would not be sated. Any threat that Hunter's gun might have posed had long since been quelled, but the assault went on until he was battered and bruised and completely still. One of the angels grabbed a cardboard garbage can with a metal rim and proceeded to bash it against Hunter's skull. He then dropped the garbage can and, joined by his fellow bikers, kicked Hunter repeatedly in the head. The angel who had stabbed him had not yet done with Hunter, stood on top of his battered head for a full minute before stepping back. "Don't touch him," he told a bystander who had been watching the fight. "He's going to die anyway."
All right, so his girlfriend Patty, said that an angel stopped her from getting involved, and he said to her, quote, "He was going to kill us. He deserves whatever he gets." And, you know, obviously that's not true. The dude didn't have any bullets in his gun. A group of bystanders, including a guy...
But they didn't know that. To be fair, they didn't know that he didn't have bullets in the gun.
Yeah, that is true, but, I mean, it takes 8 dudes to freaking...
Totally agree.
Yeah, but like you all right, so here's what makes it murder, in my opinion.
I know.
You disarm
exactly
the guy,
self-defense.
you get him on the ground, he is no longer a threat, and now he doesn't need to die, but yet you take 8 of your members, and this is why I called them pussies, because, I mean, come on, it takes 8 of these dudes are stomping on his face. I'm sorry, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I
mean, there's no respect for me.
Extreme.
Yeah, exactly. So... you got 8 Hells Angels stomping on his face. That's murder, in my opinion.
Yes.
And not only murder,
yes.
I think it's a hate crime. And everyone else thinks of that too.
Yeah.
At first I didn't because I saw the gun, but then I started thinking about it and I was reading some more of the articles and I was like, you know what? I mean, this is just a little extreme.
There's a difference though, because he didn't, I mean, obviously they didn't know that the Hells Angels in the and believe me, let me get to my point. But the Hells Angels didn't know that the gun was not loaded. But at the same time, once you get him down and disarmed, like the violence that they used was beyond excessive.
yeah.
So like, you can't even say, well, it was self-defense because he had a gun. Like,
Right.
like, it wasn't.
And
It's
I
not
think the other
self-defense.
interesting
I know
point
but that's what I'm
is like who actually started it. I think they might have been saying that he pulled the gun out and was like aiming towards a stage.
It does look like if you watch the video that it did kind of aim towards the stage, but I think that was more of just the motion of the.
So like the scuffle, did the scuffle ensue first, and then he pulls his gun in protection, and then I don't think he was the first one to draw
from
the gun.
the video,
you know what I mean?
it looks like he is trying to run away.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then he pulls the gun, and then more Hells
Exactly.
Angels chase
so
him.
He didn't it doesn't look like he was drawing the first punch, if you will,
because-
by showing his gun. He was
because
wielding his gun in self-defense to
the-
begin with.
The knife was above his head, right?
Right.
Then,
And then
he
you see
gets
the
pushed
knife.
back, and then
Or then you see the gun, I mean. Yep.
then you see the gun. So.
Right. So it's almost like he was wielding his gun in self-defense.
Well,
instead,
let me paint.
which was
let me try
wouldn't have
to
done anything.
let me try to paint the Hells Angels in a better light because I've been kind of rough on them. A group of bystanders, including a guy named Paul Cox, he sees the Hells Angels just booted this guy to death. His face is literally like a lasagna plate, probably. And Paul Cox, a good bystander, flips him over. He's breathing in his own blood, but he's still alive. He's just like gurgling. And he tried to carry him out, but a group of the Hells Angels stood in his path and said, no, he's not going.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They literally blocked his path so he would die before they could get him there.
That's terrible.
Yeah, so
Like they could have made
I
the
mean,
difference.
just
They
give
could have.
him allow him to get medical care.
Yeah, I mean, they could have taken.
well, there was a helicopter, which eventually he got to, but it took a lot longer because the Hells Angels are like, no, you're not coming past here with him. I'm just saying, man, that's how it is.
Jesus.
Anyway, this dude, Paul Pizarro, freaking life in prison, right? Death penalty, probably.
Oh god.
And this is from San Fernando County Sun, 15th of January, 1971.
Hell's Angel is acquitted of Rock Festival killing.
Yeah, so that's him right there. He was acquitted of the murder in 1979, even though they actually show him on video, killing the guy.
How is that possible? Well, how did they possibly acquit him?
The family didn't get any justice.
They were going on like that it was self-defense or kind of a thing.
Yeah. I mean,
that's awful.
Whatever. There was a cold case actually opened until 2005. They thought there was another stabber in the crowd, and that was closed in 2005, which was, 15 years ago. He actually got free, acquitted of all charges, but then he was sent to prison for the rest of his life for the RICO charges. If you guys watch any mafia documentaries, you know about the RICO, where the feds were bugging the mob bosses, with the wiretaps and stuff. That was the RICO thing. Yeah, and which is funny because going back to the Hells Angels biker that we saw, the interview.
Yep.
You remember the first thing he said was, I ain't no cop.
Yeah.
I ain't pretending to be a cop. That's the first thing I noticed. Was like, okay, dude, you're not a cop. Like,
It's cool. Huh.
So, in fact, that guy, Sonny Barger, he actually went to prison as well in 1979 for RICO charges. So, obviously, he's not a cop. 1 year after Pizarro was released from prison, 1986, he was found dead in a reservoir with $10,000 in his pocket.
Huh.
Probably a lot more than that. Because in my police report, 10,000, yeah. And I got like 30,000 stuffed in my...
Reasons why John would never be a cop.
Oh, I'd be crooked as shit.
At least he's honest.
This is his grave right here.
Oh.
There is actually a documentary of a grave guy. What do you call him? A grave keeper?
Like an undertaker type?
No, not an undertaker. The ones that...
Groundskeeper?
Yeah, but they have a certain name for him. It's not groundskeeper, something else.
Caretaker?
It's another, I can't remember the name, but he made a documentary for this guy, and I can link that as well. It talks about the event and kind of trying to bring some light on this event because it's a very tragic event, and I do believe it was a hate crime. I mean, I think a lot of people agree with that.
Yeah.
And it was those times back then. That is the time, though. So, I mean, honestly, being an African-American at that concert, you're taking a risk anyway, and that's how it was. Unfortunately, you know, and I don't think it would have even been an issue if he wasn't black. I'm just saying.
Could be.
But yeah, go ahead.
Couple questions. When that scuffle did ensue, what happened after the concert? Like, did that end the concert?
Oh, no. Mick Jagger kept playing because he didn't know.
They didn't know that somebody died.
They didn't know until this documentary when they were. So this documentary, the one that you're watching now, they were. I mean, the documentary is of them making the documentary. You know that, right? You see that, right?
Yeah.
In the thing. So he learns right there, them making the documentary that,
Somebody died.
Somebody died, yeah.
Oh, shoot.
No, I shouldn't say that. The word got out pretty quickly the next day that someone died, but he didn't know who or whatever. He definitely didn't know that night. No one did. Everyone just kept going.
Right.
You know? But anyway, this is his girlfriend, Patty, right here, and this is the last clip for tonight. So that's him on the stretcher.
Showed it to me, and they proceeded to put him down on the ground and start kicking him. And he has a couple stab wounds in his back and one over his ear here. And tried to keep him alive, and when we got here, the doctor checked him out, and that was it. We pronounced him dead at 6:20.
We have a request from the...
That's his girlfriend screaming.
He won't die. No, they're gonna do everything in their power.
But they can't hear his heart.
No, don't worry.
They can't hear his heart. That's what she said.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna put him in this whirly bird and they're gonna
I have to go with him.
Okay.
As he's in a body bag, and the other guy is telling the girlfriend he's not gonna die.
Yeah. I did a little bit of research on their relationship. Apparently, they were extremely close to each other. She really loved him. So this whole thing really shook her up as well. And it really destroyed the whole family. Like I said, his mother was schizophrenic and just lost her husband. Now she just lost her 18-year-old son. So luckily she still had, her daughter there, Dixie. But it's just a sad situation. But it's really interesting because this event did bring in the 70s. That's what all the old timers, if you ask any old timer music oldies lover, they'll say that this event right here brought in the 70s. The age of Aquarius. That's what they always say. There were people online saying, "Oh, there was no uniformed cops there. You just saw a uniformed cop." If you watch the whole documentary, there's not a ton, but you see 5 or 6. I mean, I know
were they only called in though because somebody died?
No, because at one point in the video
you saw more. Yeah,
there were some on the stage.
Yeah, there were uniformed cops there. Honestly, here's the problem, man. You bring the Hells Angels in to do security, and to pay them, you just let them drink as much as they want. And obviously they're parking their bikes as barriers and people are trying to climb over them. Obviously you don't go and kick someone's motorcycle down.
That's just going to end well. Not going to end well, yeah.
I mean, if you go and kick someone's motorcycle over just in town, you're going to get your ass beat. You know what I'm saying? That's not a good idea.
No, it's a terrible idea.
No, it's terrible, yeah. But that is the story. One of the most famous raceways now in history.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah. But that is the Rolling Stones murder. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy sad story.
Yeah, and Mick Jagger is actually still performing. He's had some health issues, but
he did have a heart surgery recently. Didn't he?
But he's on Twitter. He just posted something with his grandkids watching him perform. They're probably like, "What is this? This isn't a 3-second video. I can't stay focused this long. Where's the like button? Are they?" Well, I don't know. That's stupid. Anyway, my name's John here with Jen and Nicole. I hope you guys like that. Go to talkmurder.com. But that is Talk Murder Me, and that's the Mick Jagger story. So,
sweet. Thanks, John.
Yeah, you're welcome. So until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.